Morning traders, so let's get cracking with the Aussie. So first things first, this level that I've been watching and anticipating us to bounce off, I can't say that it's failed yet, but we have broken back below this level, which is not a very good signal at this stage. Apart from that, on the weekly, the next level to worry about is this swing high here, and it lines up pretty nicely with the red line of the alligator. Okay, so with the teeth of the alligator, and that's normally you can see here if we sort of bounce off it, we typically get a trend that moves the upside. But I suspect we're going to be moving sideways for the rest of the week until the Italy referendum on the weekend. So let's get to the daily. So first things first, you can see this is the weekly level that has basically hasn't played out at all. We have bounced back through it. We have found some support on the 200-day EMA. So this could be an area where we get some support, but I think let's just drill down to the 4 hours. So first things first, before we look at today, let's just recap yesterday. Yesterday we had this Bollinger W reversal. And remember I said I wasn't happy with it because this close was outside the Bollinger. So even though we broke above this high, you can see this bar here basically gave us a new high. Above here basically was irrelevant because we broke to the downside and moved on. So this W failed, and the W had diversions, which was a good sign, but we didn't have anything from the awesome oscillator. Now the play would have been to take a long on the break with the stop below here. So that kind of didn't materialize at all. But what it did turn out to be was a measured move. So from there to there, that was a move to the downside. Up to there is the retracement, and then obviously we now travel the same distance. So from there to the downside, from here to there. And you can see how buyers stepped in right at the measured move. Okay, so measured move has played out. So the question we need to ask ourselves is, where do we think we're going? Delete that one as well. So for me, we have another Bollinger reversal pattern here, and this one is a little bit more, well, actually a lot more concrete. So we have diversions, we have awesome oscillator diversions as well, and we've closed inside the Bollinger bands. What you can also see is we've got pin bars at the bottom, which is a reversal pattern or reversal bar, and we have another reversal pattern with this engulfing here. So we do have a pretty solid pattern. Obviously what we want, same drill, is we want a break above there in order to go long. But again, the stop losses here are massive. So it's 200 points on the DAX. I mean, that's a massive stop loss. I'm much more comfortable with like a 30, 40 point stop loss on the DAX. So for me, I think what I'll be doing is watching the lower time frames, something like the 15, okay, and seeing what happens. So at this stage, and we pretty much in after hours market, so it's futures market playing now, we are going sideways. So what I will do is wait for the open and see where we find support. Now, we may come back and test this low here, okay, or alternatively what will happen is, so I put a line in here, 1730, so this is right there. Yeah. Okay, so this is basically where the market closed. Okay, so the actual market closed, not the futures market. So this level is where the market closed, and you can see we are pretty much hovering around that level at this stage. So I'm going to watch this area with some interest, because any form of bullish action here will indicate a move first to come and test this. If this level breaks, then I would expect us, let's just put a line in for the Bollinger W, and I'll put it over here so we can see where it is, and that would be our target for the Bollinger W, which kind of just lines up with that previous swing high there. And let's see what that is, 12,930. Let's go to the higher time frame and then just put that in at 12,930. 12,830, isn't it? Sorry, I missed it. Let's just go back and just double check what that is. Yes, it is 12,930. 12,930. 4 hours. Okay. So let's just move this. Move that to 12,930. So what do we have? Okay, so it brings us pretty much back to this area here, which would make sense because that is a retest of the break. So we broke, we retested, we tested, and then we broke through without testing it again. So that does make sense of what they're trying to target, but that's a massive move. Yeah, so anyway, I would take that with a big pinch of salt. So the trick is right now I'm uncomfortable going short down here. I prefer to get some longs in and look at areas up here. So if we do get to this area, there's definitely a retest here for a move back to the downside. If we get any form of retracement and then move to the downside, it's also something to watch. And what you can do is just watch the, in actual fact, just tighten it up a bit. So if you watch the 30-minute, you can see how the 30-minute keeps bouncing off the alligator here. Okay, so you can see this is already starting to go sideways. So we may just end up with a range, maybe build a base or consolidate for another move to the downside. So again, long from the bottom, short from the top. That's kind of the play that I'll be looking for today. So I am anticipating this to play out. They more often than not play out when they set up like that. So let's see. Maybe it'll prove me right or prove me wrong. Anything's possible in this market at the moment. So that's my play today. Is I'll be looking, maybe even just come and trade off this Brooks gap here. So if we can get an entry there, we can get an entry long here with a stop here, 50-point stop loss. That's more acceptable to me. So that's kind of what I'll be looking for. So watch price action. Hopefully we get a close of this Brooks gap and then trade it to the upside. But keep watching. We have to break this level. If we don't break this level, then this is just going to become a consolidation phase. Okay, so that's kind of what I'll be playing on the DAX. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you guys later.